Hello and welcome to the 40-Year-Old Vegan, the show that helps you get leaner, cleaner, and greener in the second half of life. I'm Sandra Solani, the 58-year-old vegan, cookbook co-author, and your host. Today's guest is a well-known journalist and New York Times best-selling author. For 6 years, she hosted her own show on CNN Headline News, and she worked as a news anchor on KCAL 9 News here in Los Angeles and WCBS New York. Today, she speaks for those who have no voice through her organization, JaneUnchained.com. Jane's digital news network showcases the plant-based lifestyle and exposes the cruelties of factory farming and animal agriculture's contribution to climate change and human health problems. Her videos are seen by millions on Facebook as she brings her unique brand of animal advocacy to the world. Please join me in welcoming Jane Velez Mitchell.
Woo! How are ya?
Oh, hi Jane.
Whoa, thank you. Thank you
So
for
nice to have
having
you
me.
here today. It's great.
You're
to
not
have you.
58. There is
I am.
way.
You know what? Hey, fighting the daily fight, but veganism helps. And I know you are.
I'm 62.
That's a good-looking 62. If I ever seen it, you know?
Well,
But
you know what? It helps. It's always a struggle, but boy, having a plant-based diet makes it so much easier.
you want everything you have at your disposal to look good and healthy as long as you can. So this show is all about the second half of life and being healthy. And Jane is an expert in this field. So Jane, I want to talk a little bit about JaneUnchained.com because this is something that no one's ever done before. Tell me the vision behind JaneUnchained.com.
Well, I was going to veg fast and hearing people give amazing speeches at conferences talking about the need for a plant-based diet. Nobody was recording it. Nobody was distributing it. Protests, the same thing. And I said, wait a second. Why don't I use my news skills and create a digital news feed for animal rights and the vegan lifestyle and send all these stories out to people who need to hear them? And that's exactly what I've done. And in 2017, we had 16.5 million video views of our content, and we hope to get even bigger because people really need to hear this message. It's killing us. Animal agriculture is killing the planet. It's a leading cause of human world hunger because meat is such an inefficient food source. It's the leading cause of habitat destruction and wildlife extinction. And not to mention, it's killing people. 1 out of every 4 people approximately dies of heart disease. Heart disease is caused by cholesterol. Clogging the arteries, cholesterol comes from animals and animal products, meat and dairy. Mm-hmm. So this is a message that we need to get out there because the survival of our planet literally depends on it.
Absolutely, and so many people just turn to medication for cholesterol or for whatever ails them when all they have to do is turn to the grocery store. And we're going to be talking about some healthy foods you can eat and incorporate right now into your life. Now, Jane, how long have you been a vegan?
About 22 years.
Okay.
And you know, I've never looked back. I feel like I have so much energy. Sometimes people say a little too much energy.
It's the plants.
Yeah, and this is something that, you know, we can offer people is another way of living. There's a reason they call it the Food and Drug Administration. First they feed you the bad food and then they give you all these drugs, and it's a big industry. People are getting rich off of humans getting sick. We can turn that around. You can't take credit for a surgery you didn't have to perform. You can't charge for a surgery you didn't have to perform. You can't charge for a pill you don't have to take because you're healthy. So we need to reverse how we're thinking in this country and prevent all those diseases. Processed meat is officially cancer causing. That's deli slices, bacon, hot dogs. It causes cancer. That should be a wake-up call for people.
Mm-hmm. And not just eating it ourselves, but feeding it to our children. We're giving kids hot dogs. We're putting processed cold cuts in their lunches. So we are starting off on a bad foot by how we're feeding our children, and then we continue as adults, and then we take medication to make it better instead of just going back to basics.
Yeah, you know what I said? Would you feed your kids cigarettes?
Right,
No.
exactly.
But here's the thing. People don't know this because the mainstream media isn't talking about this because look at the advertisers. Meat, dairy, pharmaceuticals, the 3 industries that stand to lose the most if people woke up and realized they don't have to eat animals. It's actually bad for us. It's bad for the planet. So there's a shift happening thanks to social media. People are getting hip to the fact that, wow, we're being sold food that is not good for us, that's making our kids sick, that's destroying the environment, and we can do something else that tastes even more delicious.
And JaneUnchained.com and her Facebook page is part of a tipping point that's happening all over the world. I watch your page and you're getting 10, 15,000 new likes per week. That is amazing. That is unprecedented. And for this topic, it means people are interested. They want to learn more. So one of Jane's shows that's on every single day is Lunch Break Live, and she teaches people how to cook a plant-based lifestyle. So we're going to bring in a recipe that's a favorite of Jane's, and it's great for any of you that are on the go and you want to get your nutrients in quickly. So let's get started.
Yes!
One of the easiest ways to start your day with plants is with oatmeal. Rolled oats are so easy to make. 1/2 cup of rolled oats to 1 cup of water, and you've got yourself a great base. So Jane is going to make a dish for people on the go. Jane is literally on the go. She's going to get on a plane in a very short period of time. So she's going to show you how quick and easy it is to make oatmeal that's not only nutritious, it tastes like dessert.
Thank you, my dear. It's not ordinary, it's awesome oatmeal. We're gonna jazz this baby up, and we're gonna do it and make it even healthier and more nutritious in the process. So goji berries. These are absolute superfoods. They are wonderful anti-inflammatories, and they're really good. They're tasty. They're kind of chewy. So I'm going to sprinkle some goji berries on there. Now I'm going to take some dried blueberries. This is a brain food, people. Fantastic, wonderful, wonderful, nutritious food. Pecans. All right, everybody says, where do you get your protein? Protein, nuts. Tons of protein. So we're going to toss a few pecans on there. Now, I have a bit of a sweet tooth. I struggle with it. Dates, a great way around processed sugar that still gives you that beautiful and just luscious sweetness. So we're going to throw some diced dates on there.
It's giving a lot of texture and chewiness. It's making it interesting. So oatmeal doesn't have to be boring.
It does not have to be boring. Now I'm going to get some flakes. It's fun to make a little mess in the kitchen.
Right.
Coconut flakes.
Love the coconut.
Coconut flakes are fabulous, and color is super important. So I'm gonna go for some strawberries here and put some beautiful strawberries on. I mean, take a look at what we're doing with this oatmeal. It's absolutely fabulous and fun. Plant-based eating is fun. It's an adventure. Why? Because we eat about, 6 animals: cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys, goats, lambs. We don't, but
Boring.
they're eaten. There are tens of thousands of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains. There is greater diversity in plant-based cooking and eating.
You'll never get bored.
All right, now we're gonna go for some bananas, and we're gonna spread those on there. And bananas are high in potassium, so this is a really, really, really nutritious dish. Now, I happen to see in the store that they are very into these days freeze-dried fruit. So guess what? We're gonna add a little more strawberry, but it's gonna be freeze-dried for just that extra. Oh boy, am I having
Little
fun
crunch.
here!
Hey, it's
I'm
Friday now.
like a child. I make stuff. Now, of course, maple syrup, a great thing to drown this oatmeal in. No, we're not going to drown it. We're just going to put a couple of tablespoons just to give it that je ne sais quoi.
That's right. Another natural sweetener. Maple syrup is a great way to go.
And people have said I'm a little decadent, so I'm going to go for that. And guess what? Even whipped cream can be 100% plant-based these days. So we've got some plant-based whipped cream that we're going to top it with. Take a look at this, people. All right, look at that. Is that gorgeous or what? Is that beautiful?
That is beautiful.
Look at that.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna try this
Whipped
now. I
cream.
can't wait.
Whipped cream is my favorite.
This could be a dessert.
Oh my gosh. That is so delicious. The whipped cream. It's a must-have. It's a must-have.
Oh man.
And
I'm impressed with myself.
And you're never going to be bored when you have this variety of toppings available. You can make this at work, especially the freeze-dried strawberries and dried blueberries are so portable, so you can bring them anywhere. So I want to thank you for joining us here today on the 40-Year-Old Vegan. Remember, when you go plant-based, the second half of life is the best half of life. Join Jane Velez Mitchell on Facebook and see her on JaneUnchained.com. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Welcome back to the 40-Year-Old Vegan. Next, we are making a beautiful Lemony cannellini bean wrap, and everything is so fresh and colorful. You're gonna wanna make this at home, and you can do it very easily. We're gonna start with our dressing. Now, one of the ways you can make a creamy dressing with vegan products is to use cashews. We mix equal parts cashews, quarter cup, with equal parts water. What this is going to do, it's going to break down the cashews, and it's going to create a cashew cream. So it's going to be very similar to a mayonnaise or a cream-based product, but it will have no cholesterol. And you always want to use raw cashews. Don't use dry roasted. Use raw cashews, soak them overnight, rinse them, and then put them in here. I also added a clove of garlic. I'm adding a quarter cup of lemon juice. It's going to give this a nice fresh taste. I'm going to add a quarter cup of rice wine vinegar for a little more acidity. And I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of snowflake salt from Mount Cecilia. And this is going to be a wonderful creamy dressing that we're going to make first because it's going to thicken up a little bit as it sits while we're making our lettuce wraps. Added some fresh pepper. And the nice part about making your own dressings is you can make them in a blender or a NutriBullet, and they are made instantly and much more cheap than you would buy in a store. That's how easy it is to make a fresh lemony dressing. Now we're gonna let that sit for a little bit. It's gonna thicken up, and we're gonna make our green lettuce wraps with cannellini beans. You're gonna wanna start with a can of cannellini beans. You rinse it out. Make sure it's rinsed under water. The next thing we're gonna add is this beautiful grain called farro, F-A-R-R-O. It's a wonderful, chewy, nutty grain. It's similar to brown rice, but a little bit chewier. And this is gonna give us a nice texture, and it goes so well with the beans. The beans and the grains will really sustain you. So you might think you're eating a lettuce wrap and you're gonna be hungry in 20 minutes, but these are the things that are gonna keep you full and give you that feeling of satiety. Also adding beautiful red pepper. It's always good to add some color and crunch, and that keeps things interesting. And some red tomatoes, of course. Chopped green onions for lots of flavor. And you know, if you do nothing else but add fresh herbs to any dish you make, you're gonna take it up to the next level. So we're also adding a quarter cup of fresh mint, and this takes it over the top. We put mint into something, it just kind of awakens your senses. The next herb we're gonna add is about a cup of chopped fresh flat leaf parsley. This is Italian parsley. It's not the curly parsley that you're used to seeing, although you could use that. I find the flat leaf parsley a little bit more flavorful. We're putting an entire cup in here. And this is gonna remind you a lot if you've ever had tabbouleh, which uses loads of parsley, and the parsley gives a fresh flavor, and it's a great way to get your greens on. So we're gonna mix this thoroughly. We're gonna get everything blended together, and then we're gonna add our dressing. And that's about it. It's pretty quick and easy. So my dressing got a little bit thicker just sitting here, and it's gonna make a nice rich dressing for our salad. And again, that lemony flavor is gonna be a great contrast to those creamy cannellini beans. And so we just pour it in there. It's gonna get soaked up, and it smells so fresh. The mint and the parsley really take it to the next level. And you're going to want to eat this just right out of the bowl, but hold on, because the next part we're gonna do is so exciting. You might think that all wraps are created equal and that all lettuce is created equal. This is something completely different. I wanna show you something called Pete's Living Greens. And the word living is very important. Pete's Living Greens are specialists in hydroponics. That means they use 85% less water and 70% less land of traditional growers. So they're all about sustainability. In fact, this clamshell package is made out of recycled water bottles. But that's not even the best part. Check this out. The root is still attached. And when you get it like this, it's going to stay fresher longer in your fridge, and it's going to stay like that until you harvest it and you're ready to eat it. So this will stay up to 7 days longer, and actually I've put it in my fridge for much longer than that, and it stayed fresh. So you've got this beautiful living product, and it means you're not gonna waste products as much. If you've ever gone to the fridge and you forgot about the lettuce and it ended up looking like a science experiment, you don't have to worry about that anymore. So you put your greens on a plate, and now we just take this beautiful cannellini bean mixture and we put it on top, and you're gonna see these colors and you're gonna smell the freshness of this. And it is absolutely beautiful and hearty. With all of those beans and all of those greens, you can't go wrong. There's freshness, there's flavor, there's color and crunch, there's contrast, and who wouldn't love to sit down to something this fresh and beautiful? And look how quickly we made it. If this is something you might love. So look at all those greens and beans. Oh, this is so fresh, and that mint is really powerful. It wakens your senses, and it's the freshest thing you can make in, what did we do it in just a few minutes? So you're gonna wanna try our cannellini bean wraps with Pete's Living Greens. You're gonna really love it. Wanna thank you for joining me here today on The 40-Year-Old Vegan. I'll see you next time.